I'll tell you guys what happened. So, coming up my apartment building, had a guy waiting outside of his vehicle. It was a black SUV. Had on an orange shirt. As soon as he sees me, and as my next door neighbor was walking in the building, again, this is a person who they would use to target me. You know, when I'm in the city, she would all be popping up wherever I was at. And I was like, I didn't really think about it at first. And then I realized what was happening, right? They were basically using her to, to stalk me, basically, right? Always showing up at my job, the block that my job was on. And particularly whenever I go out to lunch, I would see her, like as soon as I exit out the building, here she was walking towards me in whatever direction I was going in. And this was happening too frequently for it to be coincidence. So again, today, you hear the sirens. They just turned off the sirens now because I'm recording. But again, this is what was doing. And the Jewish woman with her two children, the Jewish lady with her two children, as soon as she saw me, she looked over there at this gray vehicle across the street, this gray SUV across the street, all right? And then she put her hands in her pocket. She had, the skirt what she was wearing, with her thumb sticking out, right? Her thumb sticking out like that. And looking at me, and I'm just like, wow. I was supposed to leave a while ago, but that's probably why they again, silent sound to manipulate me into leaving when they want me to leave, because they have these things already. They had to create a plan in terms of what kind of subliminal messaging that they were going to do. But that brother, he got in there, as soon as he saw me, he got in the SUV quick, fast, before I can take out my phone to record. So I was like, wow. But stuff like this, like I said, it happens when they start targeting you like this. All right. Even last night, they were sending me some subliminal message. Say what is it? If I remember, dead man walking. Okay, yeah, dead man walking. I'm like, okay, well, I guess everybody's a dead man walking. Okay, a bunch of dead, brain dead people who can't think for themselves. Who believe whatever they're being told, and of course, Christianity. And they hate the fact that, whatever they do, they can never bring me back into the fold of that bullshit religion. The lies and deception. And what they use to control black people, particularly our women. The most religious of all groups of people, and women too. So, that's why they always talk about magic this and magic that, black girl magic. How come they don't say Asian girl magic? How come they don't say white girl magic? How come they don't say Hispanic girl magic? Huh? How come they don't say that? Because only Negropeans who have been conditioned into this magical thinking, and you got to understand, white people thought that we were mystical creatures, not even human beings. So they used to eat us to gain our powers, right? The men will eat the hearts, the penises of the black man in order to gain his sexual, what they consider to be sexual powers, right? And his bravery, his heart. Okay, yeah. So, now they got us believing in that bullshit. All right, cool. All right. So, yeah, just had a discussion with this brother. Yeah, look at them. Oh, come on, babies. Yeah. Touching my nose too. Yeah, gotta expose them so the world can see. Oh, you're gonna be famous. Certainly gonna be famous. Don't be looking at me. All right. I tell you, they get so desperate. The desperation is unbelievable. All right, the desperation is unbelievable. But that's okay. All right. So, anyhow, talking to these individuals about the history of black people, and they're like, oh, this and that and such and such. I'm like, man, there's books, okay? I mean, I haven't read all the books that I have, but I've read the most important ones, okay? And I'm constantly watching videos to reinforce my knowledge. And whenever something is mentioned in the video, I go and look for the source, and I get the source. If I have to buy the book, or if I get the book for free or PDF form, I download it, okay? And this is what they don't like, because whenever it's time I start listening to videos and start to look for books, researching, you know, they will start using the police siren, right? All the time. I don't know why. But, you know, actually I do know why. There's just certain knowledge that they just don't want you to have as a black person. Why? Why? All right, go read the book by Jabari Ozazi. The 7 plot to destroy the minds of young black boys. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure. Don't. But the author's name is Jabari Ozazi. Okay? I have that book. And it talks about images, education, how they miseducate you, and particularly as black boys too. Because you got to remember, men are the ones that build societies. Okay? Men are the ones that build societies. You don't see women, you know, at least you may see a few of them, but you don't see the vast majority of women are the ones on top of skyscrapers. You don't see that, right? You don't see a whole bunch of women in the sewers, right? You don't see that. You don't see women, right, building bridges. There may be a few offshoot, but they're not the vast majority, right? Who are building the buildings are men. Who are building the subways and all that stuff are men. Okay? Because not to say that they won't hire women, but women, those are not jobs that women would choose to want, right? They don't want that. They want cushy jobs. They want jobs in an office where they can put on their makeup, you know, dress, you know, a certain way. They don't want to get their nails dirty. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I mean, and this is what others mean when they say it is men are the ones that build a society. Right? Now women build a family. Okay? And not to say that there's a man that can build a family too. Again, just look at the natural order of things. Right? And you'll see. So anyhow, like I said, they just don't want you to have, as a black person and as a TI, any information, any knowledge of what's been done to you, any knowledge of the history, the lies that they've been told, and you know, to keep you highly ignorant. Because once they keep you highly ignorant, they can fool you. You know, they can use technology like silent sign. You thinking it's God, it's something supernatural. It's not. Right? They can use precise military synchronization, psyops operation, and you thinking it's something supernatural. It is not. Right? Go read there's a military pamphlet on psychological operation, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Or read Robert J. Lipton, The 8 Criteria of Thought Reform. Right? Margaret Singer, Cursive Persuasion Program. It's all there. They can walk around thinking they're fooling anybody. No, they only fool themselves. You know, and this is why, as black people, we have a high percentage of mental illness within our group, because the U.S. government, religious institution engage in this sort of behavior. And I've said this over a decade ago, that I said that 10 years from now you'll see black children worse off in school because they'll have memory issue, they'll have psychological issue. And what do you see now? Well, look at the latest study. Black children are suffering from serious psychological issue within the school. They're not learning, particularly within math. They can't remember math, and it's getting worse. And they continue to engage in that. So I just said, let them. You know, that's why I teach my kids to counter what it is that they're doing. Right? And nutrition is a big part of it. But black people in America, the food that they give us is not good for us, but we continue to eat it. You know, we don't continue to advocate for healthy foods. And we dying the youngest. We dying the youngest. Community in shambles. And they got these black women thinking that they're the head of the community. And when you tell them why the community is failing, then they say, well, go ask the men. No, you said you are the backbone. The white man told you that you are the backbone. So you accept that responsibility and you accept the blame. Don't try to put it back on the black man. And that's the whole thing. The accountability, the responsibility for things that they engage in, they always blame black men. So we're too divided. So, you just got to raise your kids to be different, to be less dysfunctional, and to judge people's character better than what's on the outside. We have become too highly commercialized in our minds, right? To where we look at the exterior more than what's on the inside. And that's why we'll continue to fail in our relationship, in ourselves, because they've taken out of that, they've taken our self-love for each other and for ourselves, they've taken it and they've made it self-hatred and hatred for each other. So, look at all the statistics. 10 years from now, black people will have zero wealth. That's 95% of black people will have zero wealth. But they walk around here like if nothing's happening. They don't care. They don't care about their children. They don't care. Highly niggerized, Christianized, highly ignorant, and basking in their glory of ignorance. Don't want to learn nothing about their history. Don't want to know nothing about each other except for how they look. Right? All on the outside, all on the exterior. Shallow on the inside. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.